morning. Welcome to the homestead. It's about 9 o'clock. I've gotten my chores started for the day. I'm not a morning person. Sometimes I think that homesteaders, or maybe there's this understanding of homesteaders being morning people, like rising with the dawn and the sun, and I'm not that way. I guess I've tried to be, but it just doesn't work out for me. My mood is not good. People around me just don't like it when I get up too early. I feel like my energy for the day is just not. Anyway, all of that to say, I'm not a morning person. I get up about 7:30 on a normal everyday basis. My boys sleep late too, late-ish, they'll usually sleep until about 8 o'clock, sometimes 8:30, just depending on how they're feeling. We as a family, that's just our everyday. And they're homeschooled, so they don't have to get up for the bus. And not being a morning person myself, I'm happy to let them sleep. Like I never just go in their room and shake them and say, get out of bed, it's time to get going. No, I don't do that. So I'll get up and I get dressed first thing. That's always my thing. Get dressed first thing. And I learned that years ago as part of your routine to get yourself going. Like, I need all the help that I can get in the morning to get myself going. So get dressed first thing. I'm talking like straight out of bed, moms, stay-at-home moms, you know what I'm saying, right? Straight out of bed, like I'll go to the bathroom, get dressed. Like, that's always my thing, and that gets me going. And then I'll make myself a cup of coffee. I allow myself to sit and drink that cup of coffee, and then whenever that cup of coffee is done, it's time to start work for the day. So that's kind of my normal, let's get going kind of, Jaimie, come on, put myself up in the morning, because like I said, I need all the help I can get in the morning. And Zach knows not to talk to me, so that's my other thing. Whenever my cup of coffee is done and I stand up, it's kind of like, okay, you can talk to mom now. Anyway, so I just wanted to take you through a little bit of my routine in the morning. I know that we do get questions about, everyone likes to see a day in the life kind of videos. And so I thought I'd just tell you what I do in the morning as part of my morning routine. Part of my routine before I sit down with my coffee is to get my water heating, whether it's on my propane or my wood stove if I have a fire going. And that I've learned that I just need for laundry. The boys' clothes especially get super stinky and dirty, and I'm really finding lately that hot water is my friend when it comes to washing their clothes. And maybe this is going to sound like a little advertisement again, but I'm really loving this Lavario. It's a small load, but I'm learning that I can do one load a day, and I can sit it in the kitchen. I have my hot water, and I can do it during breakfast while I'm feeding the boys their breakfast, and while I'm cleaning up, doing the dishes. I always have hot water right here, so I'm learning that I can do it right here pretty easily while I'm doing other things, and I'll just let it soak, and once in a while I'll come over here and do the wash for it, let it soak, plunge it up and down every now and then. It's right here next to me while I'm doing the dishes and other things, so that's really cool. I like that. So right now in my sink, I have dishes from the night before. Usually when I'm cooking, I like to do dishes while I'm cooking, just so I can do that. But inevitably, there's always dishes left after dinner. So I do not do dishes after dinner. That's just the way that I function the best. I like to get the kitchen cleaned up and the dishes rinsed. If I had a dishwasher, they would all be in the dishwasher right now, because I always rinse the dishes after dinner, but I don't. So normally they'll just go on the counter or left in the sink. I clear off my main counter space and leave the dishes for the morning, because I don't like to do dishes after dark. That's my big thing. I don't like to do dishes by lantern light. So this time of year, I have a lot of dishes to do in the morning. But again, it's while I'm doing the laundry. It's part of my morning routine. So I'll do that. So I've got more water here on the stove. I'm going to get ready to do dishes here. And then when I'm done with that, then it's time to move on to homeschool. And so usually that is not even really, our homeschool day doesn't start until about 10 o'clock. And that may be surprising to some people because they think, okay, breakfast, and I know I've talked about morning time before. Yes, we do morning time where we read together, but that doesn't start till 10 o'clock. I read a really interesting anecdote that a very early 20th century woman wrote, and she had her own homestead way back then, 100 years ago. I found this article at a blog called afterthoughtsblog.net, and she writes about Charlotte Mason homeschooling. And if you've watched some of my other videos, I talk about that briefly. Anyway, there's always the myth that, we can't really do Charlotte Mason type homeschooling today because, we don't have servants, right? And, Charlotte Mason and all of these moms that were getting her curriculum at the time, they had they had servants and they had governesses and nannies and they had people, staff of all kinds to run their households. The blogger found a quote from a mom who was doing Charlotte Mason homeschooling at the time who did not have any servants or people to help her, and she was just doing it all on her own, running a homestead kind of lifestyle. So this is from a mom 100 years ago. Housekeeping had to be done by 10 o'clock, for my bell rang then, and my small people had to leave the garden for their work till 1, with a short break in the middle of the morning. That's her entire quote, but you guys, like that, when I read that, like my heart it blessed me so much because, sorry, I'm really emotional about it. I don't know why I get emotional about it.
It's okay.
Okay. It's just a small quote, but the fact that this mom, she was kind of giving me the permission to say 10 o'clock. It's okay, Jaimie, because in the normal kind of flow of my morning, I've tried. I can't get started homeschooling till 10 o'clock. And it was, when I read this, it was like, I was finally given a little bit of peace because I thought, oh, well, she couldn't get started till 10 o'clock either. I'm doing fine, right? So I loved that. So that's just a brief overview of my morning chores, getting ready to start homeschool for the day. I have all this work to do in the kitchen, just preceding that. While I'm doing this, the boys are having their breakfast, they're getting dressed, they're doing their morning chores, which are having to do with the animals, if we need things brought into the house, maybe firewood or whatever. They're doing their morning chores. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. I am really trying to, I've told Zach that I really want to do more videos, and so I'm really trying to kind of schedule that into my day, into the afternoon especially. So let us know what you want to see from me. Maybe there's a question that you wanted me to talk about. Whatever it is, you can post that in the comments, and I really, really, really want to do more videos. I know that there's a lot of people who have asked for that, and so I'd love to hear what you want to know. So thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time on An American Homestead.